All right, so today what we're talking about, we talked about long division yesterday. Today we're going to do something that's called synthetic. Yeah. Synthetic division and what's called the remainder theorem. And yeah, it should be called short division because it takes long division and it really simplifies it. Really simplifies it. All right, so here's what's going on in synthetic division. We're going to divide we got x to the third minus 14x squared plus 51x minus 54 by x plus 2. Here's how synthetic division works. Do you see this x plus 2 that's right here? You take this part of it, plus 2, and you rewrite it over here, and you rewrite it as the opposite of what it is. So you rewrite it as -2. Then you put this little backwards L. And now you write the coefficient of each term in this polynomial to the right of this backwards L.
Teachers, just a reminder, those students that were scheduled to take the paper yesterday and rescheduled to this morning at 9 o'clock. Please release those students that are scheduled to take the paper at 9 o'clock this morning. Room 13105. Thank you.
All right, so this x to the third has a 1 in front of it, so you write a 1 right here. Then you write a -14, positive 51, and -54. You skip a couple of lines. You put a horizontal line, and you take this first coefficient, and you put it down here, right there. All right, so I don't know how you note that. Maybe just do something like that. You know, opposite of this goes here. And then, these all come from, this is a 1, so you get a 1. This is a -14, -14. Positive 51, positive 51. -54, -54. That's your setup. Now, you take this -2, you multiply it by this 1, all right? And you put the product right here. Thank you. So -2 times 1 is -2. And now you add. You take -14 minus 2, you get -16. You repeat. -2 times -16 is 32. You add. 51 plus 32 is 83. 83. You multiply again. -2 times 83 is negative. What is that? 166. Then you add. And you get -220. Now, this is where I don't know that it's tricky, but you just got to pay attention a little bit. If this 1 right here in green represented x to the third, then this 1 in your quotient represents your x squared. It's always going to be 1 less power than this first term. So this down here on the bottom becomes x squared minus 16x plus 83 remainder negative 220. So this is your quotient. And your remainder. All right, so what you're dividing by, the opposite of what you're dividing by goes right here in this little L. The term in front of, or the coefficient of each term goes along here horizontally. And then you multiply and add. Multiply and add. So let's do another one. Now we're going to divide x to the third minus 57x plus 56 by x minus 7. Now, in the previous problem, do you see how the exponents went 3, 2, 1, 0? In this case, it goes 3, the 2 is skipped, and then 1, and then 0. You got to be real careful there. You got to fill in. Here's what I mean by fill in. Here's your setup. You take this -7, you put the opposite of it right here. Now, in front of this x to the third is a 1. In front of your x squared, since it's not there, there's a 0. In front of the x is your -57. And your constant is 56. You draw your horizontal line. You bring down this 1. Or whatever that first value is. All right, and then you multiply and add. So 7 times 1 is 7. And 0 plus 7 is 7. 7 times 7 is 49. And -57 plus 49 is -8. 7 times -8 is -56. 56 minus 56 is 0. So your quotient is going to be, since this first term was x to the third, this first term is going to be x squared plus 7x minus 8 with no remainder. This is your quotient. All right. You don't have to. I'm just trying to remind you because sometimes the question will be asked, find the quotient of. So no, you don't have to write it at all. What you need to understand is that, x minus 7 times x squared plus 7x minus 8 equals this, right? And you could go one step further and you could say that x minus 7 times x plus 8 times x minus 1 equals this as well, doesn't it? All right, that's just a factored version of it. So those are your zeros for that polynomial. Let's do one more. Let's take, what do we got? x to the third plus 7x squared. What did I say? Oh, darn it. Thank you. X to the third plus 7x squared minus 38x and minus 240. We're going to divide it by x plus 5. All right, so we go -5 here, and we go with we got 3, 2, 1, 0, so we got a 1, 7, -38, -240, and bring down the 1. All right, so we're multiplying and adding again. -5 times 1 is -5. 7 plus -5 is 2. -5 times 2 is -10. -38 plus -10 is -48. -5 times -48 is a positive 240. And -240 plus 240 is 0. So again, your quotient is going to be x squared plus 2x minus 48. A little faster than long division, I believe. All right. Y'all good with those steps? Anybody need to see another one? All right. Second part of your assignment is another shortcut. This is using synthetic division to evaluate a function. For a given value of x. Okay, so here's what your directions will look like today. It'll say use, and we'll call it synthetic division, and the remainder theorem to find P of A. And then you're going to be given a polynomial. Let's see how they put that. P of x equal to x to the 5th minus 2x to the 3rd minus x squared plus 2 for x equals, what is that? X equals 3. So basically they're saying plug the 3 in where all the x's are and do the math. So you can just plug the 3 in if you want to, or you can use this synthetic division and the remainder theorem. Now, when you're doing this, you just take this value, the exact value, and it goes right here. All right? Don't write the opposite. When you're evaluating for an x value or a p value or any value, you're using this technique, you use this exact 3 right here. Now, bring down your coefficients. All right, we got a 1. But look, we're missing the 4th power, right? We're missing something to the 4th, so we got to use 0 as a filler. Then the -2. Then a -1. There's no x to the 1st, so another filler. And then the 2. Now we do the same thing. We do the same thing right here, and whatever our remainder is what this function would be equal to when you substitute the 3. So 3 times 1 is 3, and 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. -2 plus 9 is 7. 3 times 7 is 21. -1 and 21, that's a 20. 3 times 20 is 60. 0 plus 60 is 60. And 3 times 60 is 180. 2 plus 180 is 182. So your P of 3 is equal to 182. Or if you substitute 3 back into this equation, wherever there is an x, it will be equal to 182. All right, so let's do one more of those as well. We're going to say, given that P of x is equal to x to the 5th plus 5x plus 20. What is P of -4? All right, so the -4 goes right here. And then pay attention to your exponents. So we got a 1, a -3, a -28. We're missing an x squared, so it's a filler with a 0. Then a 5, and then a 20. 5, 4, 3. There's the 2, the 1, 0. All right, here we go. So -4 times 1 is -4. -7, 28, 0, 0, 0, 0, 5, -20, and 0. So your P of -4 is equal to 0. Everybody all right with that? All right, so your practice for today, it's going to be on 2 pages. It's going to be on page Page 308. Page 308 and 309. 21 to 30. And then 32 to 39. Usual in the basket. Or email a picture. And let's see, I'll put this 308 up first. I don't know if anybody took a picture of it yesterday. It's the same page. Then I'll put page 309 up so you can take a picture of it, or I can leave 309 up there. But you e-learners, if you don't have a question, you're excused at this time.